In this video, I'm rolling with Juan and Nick. I have a bunch of videos with Juan already and a couple with Nick. I'm going to post them in the description if you want to see their progress over time. I've rolled with Juan when I was a purple and he was a white. He's a little bigger than me, a little bit older than me, stronger than me, but somewhat new still to jiu-jitsu. It's only been a couple of years, maybe not even, of training. So there I was showing him to control the legs and pass. So you want to control the knee, don't try to grab for upper body control. So if you could control the knee, it's very easy to pass. So I gave him a little explanation on something he was asking. So here he doesn't have a guard. He's trying to put one on, but you could see he doesn't really know where he wants to go. Because Juan is big and strong, I think he passes guard a lot better than he plays guard, which is common when you have the curse of strength. So here he's got a grip on my left pant leg that couldn't help him because it was too far away. If you have to reach really far away to grab something, the grip strength is never going to be substantial. When you grab something, you want to grab it with your elbows at your sides. If you're reaching out and your arm is extended and your elbow's away from your body, it's probably a mistake. So here I'm looking to pass very slowly, very incrementally. Also, I should mention, there's my professor, Mike Codella. Also, I should mention, I had a cough for the month of June. And I'm finally getting over it, and now it's 100 degrees out. Combined with the fact that I've been working a lot, I'm a wedding photographer, so I haven't been training. I've been training 2 or 3 times a week, usually maybe 2 times, only 2 times. So I'm a bit out of shape, and then I come in today and it's 100 degrees. So I did audio, but the fans were blowing. We had a couple of fans they turn on in the school. But a hot day to be rolling in the gi. So here again, I'm still looking to be very incremental while letting him wear himself out because that left leg is under stress right now. You could see it's flexed. You can only flex your muscles for so long before they give out. So here he's got a bit of somewhat of a knee shield guard, but his knee is too far away from his body. You want to be able to really let your knee come closer to your body when you play knee shield. Otherwise, it's easy to get your legs pinned and get past. But Juan's very strong. He's framing on me, so I'm just giving him a little bit of forward pressure to wear him out while looking for holes in his game. If I wanted to, I could stand up, run left, right, pass his guard in 2 seconds. So what you could see is I'm actually just trying to pull myself up the center using his lapel. It's like I'm climbing him. So he's trying to put his foot on my knee, but not really. I have his knee controlled with my right hand. I'm looking to press down on his leg to flatten him out. Juan and I have a similar background. We're both from Wall Street. We both started on the trading floor, and we both left because we didn't want to do it anymore and went on to lead much more fulfilling lives. Life goes quick. You pretty much have to do what you love because it's over in a flash. My father's in the hospital right now. His heart stopped the other day, and they resuscitated him, and now he's on a ventilator. and he just woke up. So he went through this whole cycle of suffering. And I look at that and I think, I have to appreciate every day even more. So that was a really cool guard pass. Again, I had a stand. If you notice, ended up being a standing pass because I just couldn't do an incremental, slow, effortless pass, which is fine. It's just a testament to Juan. But the problem is he uses a lot of effort to stop what I was doing. So there he did a big frame. I tried to go to knee on belly. He made space with the frame. And now he's trying to block me with his left leg. See, but I'm holding his pants with my left arm to prevent him from really getting his guard back. So for me, it's a very efficient position. And for him, he's using a lot of energy. So there I was able to go back past the guard into a like knee on belly semi-mount, but I'm not crushing him. A lot of people fight really hard so you don't pass their guard. And I notice with people like that, when you do pass their guard, you'll find they don't have a lot of other defense lines. Like their guard is their biggest defense line. Once you pass it, everything else is nothing. And I've seen this even with very high-level black belts, where if you're able to pass, they don't really have much of a basic submission defense once they're passed. So here I'm just in like an S mount, semi-S mount. I'm probably thinking about the arm bar here, but I don't want to fall back and have him stack me. So I'm probably looking for his collar. And there he was able to turn into me, and I tried to get up to mount, but he framed. I'm trying to sit over that knee. Now I'm trying to staple his leg. See, whenever you interact, you're always giving him something. You can't just pass somebody's guard without giving them a limb, something to work off of. In this case, it was my left arm. But as you can see, I have his leg pinned, flattened out. And pretty much whenever I want, I could just switch my hips and pass. But I'm doing it very incrementally, which is forcing him to fight for inches in a way that's using a lot of energy. So even though it might look like a stalemate, one party is using much more energy, and we only have so much, no matter how good of shape we are in. And Juan's in great shape, dare I say, for a man his age. He is going to be training, and he visited a school in Asbury Park Jiu-jitsu. He said a couple of the guys asked him if they knew me because they saw his gi with the school logo. And they wanted to know if I was arrogant or I was really good, which I find funny because I know guys that are arrogant and really good. I know guys that are arrogant with no talent. But I think any arrogance I have is towards humor, and people mistake that for true arrogance. But it's just, I'm being funny. But anyway. So here I'm fishing for the Kimura. I'm really fishing for it because I want to wear his arm out. Eventually, if I keep looking for it and he has to keep defending, he will get tired. So I'm trying to be more of a brown belt. I always say a blue belt knows jiu-jitsu, a purple belt learns to be sneaky and tricky with his jiu-jitsu, and a brown belt doesn't need to be sneaky or tricky. And a black belt could just say, I'm going to submit you by doing an arm bar on your right arm, and you won't be able to stop it. So your jiu-jitsu goes full circle where you have to be sneaky, and then you can become obvious again because the level is so high it can't be stopped. So here I'm just experimenting. I'm letting him grab my head. I was trying to stop it with the sleeve wrap, which is totally experimental on my part. And now I'm back to working on the Kimura position because that's what that gives me. So he wants to grab my head. So now I'm looking for the arm bar where I get his, like a shoulder crunch arm bar. His grip is very strong. His strength is strong. His pressure. But as you can see, I'm still looking. There, I let him reach over my head. And I'm blocking his head with my two hands, as you could see, his attempt to wrap my head. And I went back to the Kimura. But he has me a little bit more flattened out than I should be. Like I should scoop my hips out and get a better angle. I'm trying to get it from too far away because I'm taking advantage of my height and length. So here I have his collar wrapped around his neck. That's why I was laughing. In some weird BS choke that I'm trying to invent on the spot. There I let him grab my head, which led to a guard pass. And as I always say, don't let anybody grab your head in that position. You always fight. It's an important struggle. But I just really wanted to see what was going to happen there and experiment with my no-arm triangle, which I just threw on here. But I'm off to the side, so I think I have to be like directly facing him for it to really work. But as you could see, it forced him to defend. And he's like a bit worked up now. Because sometimes when you don't know the technical answer, your defense just becomes getting worked up. So as you could see, we're 13 minutes into a round. And I'm on bottom just defending. But if you notice, as I always say, when you're on bottom, just keep moving. Just keep a little squirm here and there. You know, try not to let him settle in. Because as you could see, he's on my knees. I mean, he's on his knees, so he has no weight on me. Whenever you're on your knees, you don't have any weight on your partner. And this is common for new players. So that's the round with Juan. I'll put our other rounds in the description. It's probably 100 degrees in the gym right now. And I'm really feeling it coming back off of respiratory infection for the last month and overall lack of training due to work restrictions. In the winter, I train 4 days a week. But in the spring and summer, it's hard. All right, so that's that round. Now we're going to go with Nick. Nick is in law enforcement for many years, a family man, and an all-around good guy. So now that I look at him, we're probably around the same weight. He's much younger. He's probably 35 or something. Very strong, very athletic. Goes really hard. So there I pretended I was going to choke him, and when he was distracted from that arm that was around my head, I swept him, which I thought was really cool, and personally watched it 10 times about. Because that's what jiu-jitsu is all about. Misdirection. Or at least at the purple belt level. So here I'm trying to catch my breath. It's going on about, 15 minutes of rolling in a very hot environment. but I've been here before. I've, come back after a hiatus for whatever reason, after being injured. I always say you don't have to be like a high-level athlete to be good at jiu-jitsu, but you need to be an athlete. You need to be at least on a basic level of competence, of athletic ability. It doesn't have to be amazing, but you need a decent baseline. So here I caught him with the tripod sweep off the spider guard, it looked like. That was really cool. I think he's laughing about it because he's seen it a million times. We have other videos on the channel. I will also include those in the links in the description, because he's another blue belt that I've trained with since he was a white belt. And given a lot of unsolicited advice. So as you can see, it's easy for me to hold him down when I'm in his closed guard, because I simply go from wrist control, and when he rips his wrists out, I go to his biceps. So I have wrist control, he rips it out, I have like a palm on his bicep, and it's hard to come back from that in that position. So when you're playing closed guard, if you're losing the grip fighting, you need to open your guard and set something up, because some people are just better at it, and you'll never really get anything going. Also, for me, it's a low energy position. So I'm teaching him now to bring his legs up. If he brings his legs up, I can't pull my arm back. So this is a mid-roll teach. I said, but I'm not resetting in that position with my arm across your chest, jokingly. So as you can see, he's climbing his legs. Now I can't pull my arm back if I want to defend something. It makes a big difference. Also, you should start favoring one side. So if he starts climbing his hips up my right side, it'll make it even harder to get that arm back, and then you could start looking for sweeps and setting up submissions. So again, look, I have both my hands on his palms. That's what's stopping him. But again, he's using a lot more energy than I am. As you can see, I'm not even looking, because I know just by feel where he's going to be and what he's going to do next. So there I threaten the wrist lock. So here he decides to stand up, which I allow, because honestly, I'm exhausted. And I never say that. He just keeps trying one thing after another that I have to keep addressing, and I've already been rolling for 18 minutes in 100-degree weather. I'm just talking about this with you. It's not really something that concerns me. It's just part of jiu-jitsu. It's another condition of training. So there I was able to get a really cool spider guard sweep. That I basically learned spider guard from Marcos Tinoco, Big Os. He was my coach at Marcelo's for a couple of years, the daytime coach. And his game is a very lasso, spider guard, De La Riva type of game. It's different than Marcelo's. I believe he came to the school as a brown belt, like an amazing brown belt. So that ends the round. If you gain value from my content, you want to help support the channel, I have a Buy Me a Coffee link, or you could check out the X-Martial link in the description. Use Jits over 50 and get 15% off. Thank you for watching.